If you're letting your music drive what you're doing, then there'll always be that magic there.
We make special items for a new site about just one song, a little bit more in depth. And I want to talk about the single, Peter Pan, rest in peace. Can you remember what was the first, where you were when you first wrote a line or a riff for the song?
I was in the forest.
Yeah?
I was in the deep dark forest in Belgium. Yeah, I was at Alonso's house, and yeah, I was reading a book about J.M. Barrie, the writer, and about the story of Peter Pan. And it's a very spooky. Peter Pan isn't quite as gay and whimsical as maybe, because the Disney film made a big impact, I think. And actually the story and even the play, there's a lot of subtext that is about tragedy and loss and all kinds of things. So it's quite evocative. It's about the shadow side of life, as well as just all the gays skipping around the pond at Kensington Gardens.
Yeah. Oh, was that the Disney image, the image you had in your mind when thinking of Peter Pan before writing the song?
No, funnily enough, one of the things I had was my mum, because my mum was an actress, played Peter Pan just before I was born, around that time. And so I also had an image of her skipping around in tights. Yeah. You know, because you know, the tradition is always, you know, the woman plays the boy. My mum knew the daughter of one of these actresses that had played it, you know, back in the early 20s, and she'd played Peter Pan for years, this actress, and it had really kind of affected her. And even when she was an old woman, if you went round and visited her, she would greet you sitting on the mantelpiece with a cup of tea, you know, and you'd have to sort of sit there and act as if everything was normal. So, yeah, for some people it affects them more than others.
But what did you learn from the story while reading the book? Were there new things that came up the surface that you didn't notice before?
Well, I mean, it's your own, you know, your own relationship with the story changes. Peter Pan, his original story is very much drawing on other folk stories and fairy tales, and like all Celtic fairy tales, they're very spooky, and they're all about death, basically, love and death, and childhood, the trauma of being a child and realizing that you're alone in the world. You know, there's something happens where a kid realizes he's not going to be a kid forever, and that he's separate from his parents. There's like a whole kind of shift in the child's mind. It's kind of like a type of death, early death, and so I think that's part of the story.
And so that was at the time you were reading the book. Were you also writing songs at that time? So you think that will blend together well, or?
You know, when anyone writes songs, it's, you know, books lying around, posters on the wall, or something on the TV, or something somebody says. That's kind of how I tend to work.
So it's just
what's bouncing around.
Coincidental in that way.
Well, no, I think you're still going to sponge it up.
For the video, how did that idea came to life? Huh?
The video for Peter Pan. I really want. We have an old friend called Don Pecker, who's a real character and a street musician, and an old friend. He's very photogenic, very charismatic. We're just looking for an excuse to film him. And
that's the old man with the beard?
Yeah, this is the old guy with the beard, the hobo. So we thought, you know, I was just trying to find some kind of narrative that would allow us to film him. And then we got all our kids in the video too, so it's like a glorified home movie, basically. So they're definitely my favourite video.
Do you read the story to your kid already? A little bit?
No, he's not interested in. Oh yeah, no, he likes reading the kind of shortened version. His main interest right now is drums and trying to go deaf early.
Is he really already aware of what that is doing in a way?
Yeah, I think so. I think he realizes music. I mean, all kids love music early on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great.
Is there a certain song maybe of this record that he really loves?
He doesn't, yeah, he's really young, no, but he likes the video.
Okay.
First time he saw the video, he gave a big smile.